Hi, I'm Ben. I'm here to learn English.
And I'm Emma. I'm here to help.
Let's learn together.
Let's learn together. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ben. Hi, Emma. It's so nice to have everyone with us today.
Hi, Ben. Today we're going to talk about something very practical, your job and your education experience.
Yes, this is a topic that comes up a lot, especially if you are preparing for interviews, IELTS, speaking, or just talking with new people.
Absolutely. So let's start with education. Ben, can you tell me about your school and university experience?
Sure. I studied software engineering at university. It was really interesting, but also a bit challenging sometimes. I learned a lot about coding, testing, and problem solving.
That sounds great. Can you explain problem solving for our listeners?
Of course. Problem solving means finding solutions to difficult situations. For example, if a computer program doesn't work, you have to figure out why and fix it. That's problem solving.
Perfect. I remember my education was very different. I studied literature, which is about reading, analyzing, and writing about books. I loved it, but sometimes I felt it was very theoretical.
Yes, that's true. Some subjects are more practical, like engineering, and some are more theoretical, like literature. Both are useful in different ways.
Exactly. Now let's talk about jobs. Ben, you work in QA, right?
Yes, I'm a quality assurance engineer. Basically, my job is to test software to make sure it works well before people use it.
Can you explain quality assurance for our listeners?
Sure. Quality assurance, or QA, is like being a detective. You check everything carefully to find mistakes. If you find a mistake, it can be fixed before it causes problems for users.
Oh, that's a great way to explain it. I think many people confuse QA with coding, but it's different, right?
Yes, QA is not only about coding, but sometimes you need coding skills to write tests or understand software better.
That makes sense. Let's practice a simple sentence for our listeners. You could say, I work as a QA engineer, which means I test software to make sure it works correctly.
Perfect. And you can also say, I enjoy my job because I like finding problems and solving them.
Yes, and this is a great example of combining job and skills in one sentence.
Now, Emma, let's talk about your job experience. You're an English teacher, right?
Yes, I teach English and I really enjoy it. Teaching is not just about explaining grammar, it's about helping people communicate and gain confidence.
That's very inspiring. And what's your favorite part of teaching?
I love seeing students improve and finally understand something they found difficult. It's a very rewarding feeling.
Rewarding is a great word. Can you explain it?
Sure. Rewarding means it gives you satisfaction or makes you feel proud. For example, helping a student speak English better is rewarding.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Let's share a small story from my teaching experience. One of my students was very shy and didn't speak in class. After a few months, he gave a presentation in English confidently. I felt so proud and happy. That was very rewarding.
That's amazing. Stories like this also help you remember vocabulary better.
Exactly. So listeners, when you talk about your job or education, try to add small stories. It makes your English more natural.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about common questions people ask about jobs and education.
Good idea. For example, what is your current job?
A simple answer could be, I am a QA engineer, I test software and make sure it works correctly.
And if someone asks about education, where did you study?
You can answer, I studied software engineering at name of university. I learned coding, testing, and problem solving.
That's simple and clear. Another question is, why did you choose this career?
Oh, that's important. You could say, I chose QA because I enjoy solving problems and improving software quality. I like being a detective in the software world.
That's very vivid. And for education, why did you choose this subject?
You could answer, I chose software engineering because I love technology and want to create useful applications.
Very good. Let's explain a word here, applications.
Yes, applications are computer programs like apps on your phone.
Perfect. Another common question is, what skills have you learned from your job or studies?
For me, from my studies, I learned coding and problem solving. From my job, I learned attention to detail and teamwork.
And for me, from my studies, I learned communication and critical thinking. From my job, I learned patience and teaching skills.
That's a great way to organize your answer. List skills from both education and job. It shows your experience clearly.
Yes, listeners, this tip is very useful for interviews and speaking tests.
Now let's talk about challenges. Everyone faces challenges in education and jobs.
True. For example, one challenge I had in teaching was helping students who were afraid of making mistakes.
That's common. In QA, a challenge is finding tricky bugs that are hard to see.
And you can explain challenges in your answer, like, one challenge I faced was this, and I overcame it by this.
Yes. For example, one challenge I faced was a difficult software bug. I overcame it by testing carefully and asking for advice from my team.
Or one challenge I faced was helping shy students. I overcame it by giving them small tasks and encouraging them every day.
That's excellent. Listeners, when you share challenges, it shows your problem-solving skills and determination.
Absolutely. And small stories make it real and interesting.
Now, let's discuss some vocabulary that is useful for talking about jobs and education.
Sure. Let's start with experience.
Experience means the knowledge or skill you get from doing something. For example, I have 3 years of work experience as a QA engineer.
Another one is degree.
A degree is the certificate you get when you finish university. For example, I have a bachelor's degree in software engineering.
Skill is also important.
Yes, a skill is the ability to do something well. For example, my skills include coding, testing, and teamwork.
Career is another useful word.
Right. Your career is your main job or profession over your life. For example, I started my career as a junior QA engineer, and now I'm a senior QA engineer.
Great vocabulary. Now let's do a mini conversation example for practice.
Okay, I'll ask, Emma, what is your job and what do you enjoy about it?
I am an English teacher, and I enjoy helping students improve their communication skills and gain confidence in English.
Very clear. Now I'll try. What did you study at university?
I studied literature. I learned reading, writing, and analyzing different kinds of books.
Perfect. You see, listeners, short and clear answers work best.
Yes, and you can add a little story to make it more engaging.
Emma, let's talk about future goals in jobs and education.
Great idea. For example, you can say, in the future, I want to become a team leader in QA and improve my leadership skills.
And I can say I want to continue teaching English online and help more students around the world.
That's very motivating. Sharing goals also shows ambition and planning.
Now, before we finish, let's give some tips for our listeners.
Tip 1. Practice talking about your job and education every day, even if it's just 1 or 2 sentences.
Tip 2. Use vocabulary like skills, experience, career, challenge, and rewarding.
Tip 3. Share small stories. They make your English sound natural and interesting.
Tip 4. Practice answering common questions like what is your job, where did you study, and why did you choose this career?
And tip 5. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Speaking English is about communicating, not being perfect.
Exactly. That's the most important tip.
Well, listeners, that's all for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it and learned useful ways to talk about your job and education.
Yes, and remember, the more you practice, the more confident you will become.
Don't forget to like this podcast, subscribe, and share it with your friends who are learning English.
Thank you so much for listening. See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Keep practicing and have a wonderful day.
Bye.